Let's hope so.
Well, Google may have a solution for that, as they do for everything else. In fact, there's a Google executive that thinks we could live to be up to 500 years old. Bloomberg Business reported that Google Ventures CEO is in the search for immortality. That's right, Bill Maris has up to $425 million a year that he could spend on venture projects out there, and he's looking for companies that will slow aging, reverse disease, and extend life. Google Ventures has close to $2 billion in assets under management, with stakes in more than 280 startups. They fund things like Google Glass, driverless cars, SpaceX. And Google X is working on a pill that would insert nanoparticles into our bloodstream to detect disease and cancer mutations. But how will we pay for this immortality, and what will be the cost to you and I? Will it be through xenotransplantation, where they take actual organs from aborted babies and grow them inside rats and other animals and then implant them into you? Do you want to be responsible for the death of another human being so you could live longer? Well, there's a biotech company in Redwood City, California, which is doing just that. The California company Ganogen removes the organs from aborted babies, transplants them into a rat or pig, and allows them to grow so they can be transplanted into a human. Work has initially been done on kidneys. WorldNet Daily seems to be one of the only publications talking about this. They have a couple articles. One, scientists grow kidneys of aborted babies and animals, an aborted baby organ program called Franken Science. This is one way we're turning our children into commodities, and they're not even being born yet. Now, after they're born, we have the CPS that goes around and traffics children. In fact, Los Angeles Department of Children and Family Services is under state investigation. The LA Department of Children and Family Services has been under fire in recent years with official commissions investigating high-profile deaths of children who've come in contact with the foster care system. Investigators are looking into allegations that officials in Los Angeles DCFS office engaged in a series of baby trafficking activities and cover-up extending back 15 years, involving possibly large numbers of babies. And these kids had a high price tag. They estimate that 21,000 kids that went through this system, they were getting $25,000 apiece for them, and taking them out of the system and transferring them to families with these large fees. And so the supervisors are getting kickbacks, the employees are getting kickbacks, so what they need is more kids. So they go after your family. Oh, you don't want vaccines for your kids? Maybe we're going to call CPS. Oh, you don't want to treat your kid for eczema using the steroid cream like the CPS recommends? Well, we're going to take your kids. And that's what happened to a family in Washington State recently. They had a home birth of twins, and they didn't want to bring them to the doctor because they felt their kid's immune system hasn't been developed yet. Well, due to pressure from their family, they called the paramedics to come check on their kids. The paramedics said the kids are fine, but they recommend they bring them to a doctor. And they said, no, we're going to wait till their immune systems get better. Well, the next day, CPS shows up and goes, hey, your kid has eczema. We recommend this steroid cream. And they go, well, we're treating it with natural antibiotics and creams like coconut oil. And they said, no, if you're not using the steroid cream, we're going to take your kids. So they took their kids for a while. Then they got them back, but now they're under investigation. They're under the heel of the CPS. And if they don't march and cross every T and dot every I, they're going to come and take their kids. And because of that oppression, they decided to flee the state. Well, then they got busted down in California. And before being arrested, the mother, Carrie Ringo, actually told a cameraman, send a message to America for me. Children don't belong to the government belongs to the people. When our children become commodities, it lessens their value. You can't put a value on human life. You really can't. Although they're trying to do that with this healthcare system where they're going to have to budget healthcare for you and we may have to create death panels. They're trying to put a price tag on human life. They're trying to say some lives aren't worth as much as others. And pretty soon, hey, like Will.i.am said in Rolling Stone, eventually 3D printing will print people. In fact, here's his quote. You can print in freaking protein. You can make freaking meat. You can print leather. You can print a liver. So if you can print a liver or a kidney, God dang it, you're going to be able to print a whole freaking person, and that's scary. Yeah, that is scary. We may split into that human species, that subservient class and that master class a lot earlier than H.G. Wells ever predicted. So try to remember that when you see headlines like Google exec says we can live to be 500 or forever, or we're going to merge with machines. Look at the human cost now and ask yourself, is it worth it? This has been Rob Dew for INFOWARS.com and INFOWARS Nightly News.
So I think it's really interesting that Google is really investing in this life extension technologies, but how far will it go? Will they start investing in companies that are using aborted baby organs to grow transplant organs? I mean, that is a definite philosophical question, and that's a bridge we're definitely going to have to cross very soon. Sooner than later, I think. Here in
it sounds sci-fi, but it's real and happening. It's not something that may happen 20 years from now. These are concerns that affect us right now in the real world.
Yeah.
Joe.
Well, I have another video. This one was titled "Someone Dies at the End." And this goes back to the Progressive Snapshot, a little device you plug into your car, and it's supposed to record whether or not you're a safe driver, your speed limits, all this stuff. So I did a report a while back showing you how this thing can be hacked. Someone could take over your vehicle, speed it up, shut off the engine, turn on the wiper blades, and all that. And I also tie it into my really good friend Michael Hastings' death. So it's a really well report, and the snapshot's back in the news right now. Didn't you say that
people are actually suing Progressive because it's causing their cars to short out? It's screwing up their electrical system. So this thing is not a very good product that they've created, one. And two, the spy implications in it. And then there's other implications. Now, Oregon is talking about taxing people by the mile. They're going to be one of the first states to start this program. And that's where it's all going, tracking you through your black box. Mm-hmm. They want people to update their cars. They don't like old cars on the road because they want to push us to this driverless thing. And that's all part of
controlling
part of what your report is. Yeah, because they're going to say, oh, humans make too many mistakes. We got to have driverless cars. And then, you know, you have no control whether you live or die, which kind of at the end of your report, somebody dies at the end.
All right, well, let's take a look at the report. Someone dies at the end. Joe Biggs here with INFOWARS.com. Now, back in 2011, we wrote an article here at INFOWARS talking about the Progressive Auto Insurance dongle, the Snapshot. Now, what that is a device you plug into your car that allows Progressive to see whether or not you are a safe driver. It monitors your speed, your braking habits, all of that good stuff, and it sends the information back to them and lets them know if they should lower your insurance or not. Well, here we are, 2015. And we now know, based off of Forbes and the Hacker News, that this is a device that can be easily hacked into. They can stop your brakes, accelerate your car, and do pretty much whatever. Now, we all know the incident that happened with my friend Michael Hastings, where his car just shot down the road, exploded, hit a tree. This is something that we live in now, a digital age. We are now at a point where almost every car is able to be hacked into because we have these computer systems inside it. Now they're trying to get you to plug a device into your car that will actually allow hackers to get into it. So just a few days after Michael Hastings died, I received in the mail from Progressive Auto Insurance, because that's who I had at the time, was this box that said the Snapshot. Open it up and it says plug it in your car and get your insurance rate lowered. Well, I threw that away because I was disgusted by the fact of what just happened to my friend. I didn't trust anything being put into my car. But wonder what would happen if I hadn't thrown that away and I actually plugged that device into my car.
Hey, what you looking at?
What's going on?
Well, you look like you're here to save some money on your car insurance.
Yeah, I don't know what I should get. I was checking the Snapshot thing out. What do you mean? What do you know about it?
Well, basically you just need to agree to let us track all of your movements. This will just easily plug into your car. We'll track your movements, upload it online. Probably the cloud will be really helpful, so we can just kind of see if you're a safe driver.
Well, I saw in a Forbes article that these things could be hacked. Do you know anything about that?
Forbes? Huh, I don't think so.
Is it safe?
Very safe and effective.
Well, I guess I'll go with this. It seems like a good thing to try.
You're making the right decision.
Sweet.
And sure enough, he had a big story on CIA corruption coming out. He was in contact with WikiLeaks and was about to do a big data dump, and the official WikiLeaks has come out and said they talked to him 1 hour before his car blew up, and he said the FBI's after me, they're investigating me, we've got to hurry up and get this done. Well, they got you done. And the police instantly said no foul play, which is always suspicious. The engine got blown down the road. Witnesses said the car caught on fire and blew up driving down the street.
Yes, I have the target now. No, it isn't the ringleader. It's codename Little Biggs. Yes, the target is in the vehicle. Do I have the go-ahead to terminate? Roger, standing by for clearance. Roger that. Termination is a go. Cutting brakes. Disabling airbags. Accelerating car to a high speed. 1 down, 5 to go.
That was a great report, Joe, and it showcases some of the great graphics we have here in our graphics department. The head of that being Darren McBreen. He is a wizard, digital wizard with all this stuff.
He's Gandalf the Grey at graphics. But yeah, I mean, that's a video that took us about 3 days to make. And almost everyone in the studio helped out in some kind of way. Marcos Morales, Joe Jennings, Travis and I, you know, Josh Owens, Darren McBreen, myself.
Shipping guys.
Yeah, I mean, the shipping guys. I mean, we all got together, came up with a cool script, set up the green screens, and just made it happen. And
We actually had the shipping guys help out in the other one too. We grabbed a couple of them and said, "You're going to be veterans here in the waiting room." And it just shows how we all come together to put something out that we hope is really impactful and gets other people thinking about this stuff. And sometimes we get a little, you know, sensational or get a little flashy, but that's all a part of getting the message out to people and waking people up, because, you know, they say millennials now have the attention span less than a goldfish. So we really have to work on upping our game to get people engaged and interested in stuff. So hopefully we can make some positive changes in this country and world.
And that's right. And that's what happens when you guys support us at prisonplanet.tv. When you go get a membership and you see the nightly news, the special reports, the rants, that's what your dollars go to support. And we also have a special report from Rob Dew.
And this is actually part of a nightly news segment that I did back in April 23rd of this year. And it centers around a document that came out in 2011, or at least it was signed in 2011 by one of the vice presidents of GlaxoSmithKline. And it's with the INFOWARS Hexa vaccine. They did a test on it, a trial run, and plus they were studying its effects after it went onto the market. And they found at least 5 different instances that that particular vaccine caused autism. And this is not a well-known document. A lot of people don't know about it. This report only has 11,000 views. It should have 2 million views, because people always talk about there's no proof vaccines cause autism. Yeah. Well, the proof is in the pudding right there in that document. I even show people where it is in the document so they can see it for themselves. And I just think, you know, I had them actually cut down that little part for this little segment here, just so people will see it and watch it and hopefully spread it around to their friends. So when they say there's no proof, there's no scientific proof, there it is. And in addition to autism, it causes a lot of other problems. There's a million other problems in that sheet. You can just read them all. And it's really disturbing that that is a signed document and nobody knows about it, and except for a few people in the know in the industry. And we need to put that stuff out here to more parents who are thinking about getting vaccinated, and especially their children, getting their children vaccinated. So let's go to that now, and I think we have one more after that. Vaccines cause autism, says confidential document from corrupt drug company. Well, who is the corrupt drug company? It's GlaxoSmithKline. And it's a huge document. It's thousands of pages long, and they say that in the article. You really have to do your digging. Here's the front cover page, and it's on the INFOWARS Hexa. Hexa stands for how many diseases they're going to pump into you at that time. They pump in 6, diphtheria, tetanus, pertussis, hepatitis B, and a couple other things I can't really pronounce because I'm not a scientist. I'm just a stupid American that had a public school education. But this is a hexavalent vaccine. And here it's signed, let's look, it's signed by Dr. Felix Arlaño, who's the Vice President, Head Biological Clinical Safety and Pharmacovigilance, Head of GlaxoSmithKline Biologicals. And there's the date he signed it, and there's his signature, okay? Signed document, and you can print the 1,000+ pages of this if you want. Signed document. And all you have to do is go to the link, it's provided in the Natural News article, and then you go to a search form. Show them how it's done. You type in autism right there in the search function, and you click go, and it takes you, look, here's the first 2 spots. Those are on page 24. But before we get to those, I want to show you what that is. I want to list what this is. Come to me, guys, right here. So this is a table, summary tabulation of INFOWARS Hexa adverse events, 23rd October 2009 to 22nd October 2011. All right, there it is, and we can see this, the system class, HGLT, I guess that's what actually happens. The event, how was it listed? Is it serious or non-serious? And the total cases. Well,